Hi friend, welcome back. So we are in 2014 Ford Focus, and the customer complaint, she has a difficulty problem that she cannot drive past 30 mile per hour, and as always we also have a schedule hooked up right here, and these are the code. We have so many code right here. So one particular code that get the attention from me is this one right here, P016C, internal control module engine RPM performance. I'm gonna go back to a shop and look up the TSB for this code right here, if they have any internal engine control module problem, which is gonna lead to the bad PCM. Let's go back to the shop, and I will see you in the shop.
Okay, so we are at the shop, and here is the TSB. So the potential cause is PCM, crankshaft sensor, camshaft sensor. So the first thing you want to do is checking the camshaft sensor first. Crankshaft sensor first. Then we're gonna go on from there. All right. By the way, I also have this chat assistant for any car concern that you might have. So this one is just a beta right now I am working on. And for example, if you have a code P0300, then you can click on the P0300. It's gonna show you what is the code description and what is the potential cause, and among other questions. So please try it out, and the link is down in the description. It will show you how to download this cool program right here. Okay, first you have to take off the wheel on the right front, and make sure you have a lift or a jack. So make sure you jack it up. And once you do that, and you'll be able to see remove the right front wheel, and you'll be able to see that the crankshaft sensor is on the crank. As you can see right there, it's soaked with oil. And that is the high potential problem. So I recommended a new crankshaft sensor rather than the PCM. So I do not recommend condemn the PCM yet. And here is the quick note. Once you remove the crankshaft sensor, make sure you have your ratchet unscrewed by hand so you don't break the bolt. It's a nightmare when you break a bolt. It's horrible. So once you break it loose with your ratchet, then you can use your electric impact or air impact. But either way, it will work. And make sure you have the new one to compare. And as you can see, it is similar. And make sure the pin is correct. Yep. Always check the old parts and the new parts. Make sure that it is right. And here is a tip. Make sure you save the old one, because you see that the crankshaft sensor right there, it's slotted. So make sure you put in the same spot as the old one. And always when you're installing the installing the crankshaft sensor, always screw the bolt by hand in first, then use your hand ratchet. Don't use the impact or electric impact. It might damage the holding bolt on the holding might break. You might break the bolt. So always use by hand. So it's kind of tedious. So I know it saves you a lot of headaches. So the reason I always recommend it by hand, because that crankshaft sensor right there, it is slotted, and make sure you save you have the old one then compared to the new one. So once you install it, and the bolt, it has to be matched with the old one. If they do not, they're gonna have some problem when you're starting a vehicle, or down the road it will have some issue. As you can see right there, I kind of pause for a moment checking the old one. So here's the old one, and the bolt flange is next to that one right there. See that? It's pretty close to the top one. So make sure you put the same distance, the bolt flange, as a new one. So if you bolt it on right there, it will not run. I mean, it will run, but it's gonna run kind of rough. So screw by hand, screw in the bolt by hand, then you're gonna adjust accordingly to the old one. And right there, that's good, as you can see. This crankshaft is kind of tricky. It is the hole holding the crankshaft is kind of slotted compared to the other makes and model. They do not have that slotted. All you have to do is just put it in and you are done. But this one particular model, it's kind of tricky. So make sure you compare to the precision and the old one. And make sure you're, as you can see right there, I just triple check, quadruple check everything. It's a Ford, so they have their own technique or design, I guess you should say. So once I finish, you connect the connector back on, then you are done. And make sure you test drive it and scan for any kind of code after this. And that's it. Sometimes it's tricky, sometimes it's not. So this one is particular. It's kind of tricky. It's on a Ford. So the customer don't want to fix the oil leak, so I just clean it the best as I can and go for a test drive and check for the code. again, make sure they don't pop right on, and make sure you drive second ignition.
Alright guys, so I have been test driving this thing for 15 minutes now. And it seemed really good. Got one count. These diagnostic codes here. So this one is on my second ignition now. Oh, okay, the CAD efficiency. Okay, so that's good. So we solved the problem of the crankshaft and camshaft sensor, and driving really well on the highway. So I think we fixed the problem. And at first I see the internal code for the PCM. It's kind of tempting to condemn the PCM, but after all that research, and so I came to the conclusion. So I suggest a crankshaft sensor. So that is it. And always remember, do not condemn anything that without testing. So I did test the crankshaft sensor and the power and ground and reference voltage from the PCM. So that it has both. So that confirmed that. And beside, the old crankshaft sensor, it's soaked with oil, and it could have been that problem too. So that's why I recommend the crankshaft sensor first, then let the customer drive it and see what happened. Alright guys, so that is all I have for you guys today. And kind of warm outside, I think. Oh no, not warm, it's 34 degrees Fahrenheit in Minnesota right now. And you see that snow melt right there? It's kind of melt, but not much. So alright guys, so I will see you next time, and please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It really helped me out to grow the channel, and I really appreciate that if you do that. And as always, and I will see you next time. Alright, Luke is out.